New images this morning of that Times Square tragedy, a deadly crash in the heart of New York City, full of tourists. The Navy vet running down 23 people on a sidewalk, killing an 18-year-old girl on vacation before crashing into a barrier, then trying to flee the scene. A hero employee from Planet Hollywood jumping in to stop him.
He was just screaming. There were no words, just screaming.
What we are now learning about that driver.
On defense, President Trump blasts the hiring of a special counsel to lead the investigation into Russia and his campaign.
The entire thing has been a witch hunt.
Saying it's dividing the country as he prepares to leave on his first foreign trip. The president says he's very close to picking a new FBI director. Former Democratic Senator and Vice Presidential candidate Joe Lieberman in the spotlight.
Tornado outbreak. At least 19 reported twisters tearing through the heartland, sending debris flying. Large hail, winds topping 100 miles an hour. This tree knocking into a power line, going up in flames. Now another round of dangerous storms taking aim.
I think I want to marry you.
And Princess Kate's sister Pippa just one day away from walking down the aisle. The royal family takes center stage. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle expected to arrive. And what we're now learning about Pippa's gown and reception for the biggest wedding of the year.
Come on, girl.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And we do say good morning, America. It has been a very busy week, and this morning is no different. We're also gearing up for our first summer concert in Central Park. Look at the crowd that's out to see Green Day, and they will be performing live.
I was driving to work very early this morning. They were lined up outside
Already.
Central Park already.
And we've got a lot of news to get to. A big day for the president. He's about to make his first trip overseas.
Yeah, big trip for the president. 9 days going to Saudi Arabia, Israel, going to meet with the Pope at the Vatican. We're going to have more on that coming up. But we do begin with new details about that deadly crash. It was right here in Times Square. You see our Jumbotron right there? It was right by our studio. And the driver is now facing multiple charges for running down pedestrians on the sidewalk. Police believe he was under the influence of a synthetic drug. ABC's Gio Benitez is right outside with the latest. Good morning, Gio.
George, good morning to you. Police are making it clear this was no accident. They've charged the driver with murder and attempted murder. We should tell you that this video is difficult to see.
This morning, 26-year-old Richard Rojas is behind bars after this sudden and horrific crash in the center of bustling Times Square.
I'm still very upset. I mean, I was almost killed.
In this new surveillance video, which is difficult to watch, Rojas's car can be seen making its way slowly down the street, then suddenly taking a swooping U-turn, plowing through the crowd. These images show Rojas trying to flee the scene until Ken Bradix, a bouncer at nearby Planet Hollywood, helped stop him.
But you went over there and you tackled him. You stopped him
I stopped him.
from doing any more damage.
That's correct.
Did he say anything to you?
He was just screaming. There were no words.
There were no words.
No words, just screaming.
More than 20 pedestrians injured, one killed. 18-year-old Alyssa Ellsman in town visiting the city with her family from Michigan. Annie Donahue was walking right next to her right before she died.
Her purse was like a foot away from her and she was dead.
And that was the woman who you were walking right next to.
And then I decided to cross the street. And 30 seconds later, she was dead.
Police say Rojas, a Navy vet from the Bronx, drove his car down a sidewalk for more than 3 blocks from the famous 42nd Street to 45th, knocking down tourists and workers on the way before crashing into a steel barrier. Police say Rojas told them he smoked something that they believe might have been synthetic marijuana before the incident, and that he thought the world was coming to an end. They say he had many previous arrests, including 2 charges for driving under the influence. They say just last week, he put a knife to a man's throat.
A lot of people right now are calling you a hero.
I don't consider myself a hero. I would just do something that I hope people would do, because I was really trying to do the right thing.
A true hero right there. And now police are still investigating, but at this point, they don't believe that this was terrorism. The driver will face a judge this morning. George and Robin.
All right, Gio, thank you very much. Again, it was just right outside of our window here, and many of our crew members were still here when it happened, and the building was in basic lockdown. No one could come and go because they just didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, and we know this can always happen at a place like this with so many tourists out front.
That's right. We're also following a lot of stories out of Washington this morning. President Trump closing in on announcing his pick for head of the FBI. One of the front runners, a very familiar name, former vice presidential candidate Joe Lieberman, who ran with Al Gore. And President Trump is preparing for his first international trip this afternoon. As we've been saying, he'll be heading to Saudi Arabia first. He's also reacting to the appointment of a special counsel, calling the investigation into his campaign and Russia a, quote, witch hunt. Our chief White House correspondent, John Carl, asked him about it and joins us now from Washington. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Robin. As the president prepares to head overseas, he is hoping to turn the page on the toughest 2 weeks of his presidency.
With his first foreign trip just hours away, a new headache for President Trump. The appointment of a special counsel to investigate Russian meddling in the presidential campaign.
Mr. President, I'd like to get your reaction to Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein's decision to appoint a special counsel to investigate the Russian interference in the campaign. Was this the right move, or is this part of a witch hunt?
Well, I respect the move, but the entire thing has been a witch hunt, and there is no collusion between certainly myself and my campaign, but I can always speak for myself and the Russians, zero. I think it divides the country. I think we have a very divided country because of that and many other things.
The man who appointed the special counsel to lead the investigation was on Capitol Hill Thursday.
Did President Trump obstruct justice?
Good afternoon.
Briefing all 100 senators on the president's controversial decision to fire FBI Director James Comey, and sharing why he selected a special counsel.
He said it to make sure that the integrity of the Department of Justice was protected and to make certain the American people felt that this was going to be handled fairly and justly.
Democratic senators at the briefing said Rosenstein pushed back on White House claims that Comey was fired because of his recommendation.
He did acknowledge that he learned Comey would be removed prior to him writing his memo.
But shortly after that briefing wrapped up, President Trump offered yet another explanation for the decision, blaming Comey's most recent congressional testimony.
Then he had the very poor performance on Wednesday. That was a poor performance. So poor, in fact, that I believe, and you'd have to ask him, because I don't like to speak for other people, but I believe that's why the Deputy Attorney General went out and wrote his very, very strong letter.
But, Robin, Rosenstein's memo, which was written just days after Comey was on Capitol Hill, made no reference whatsoever to that congressional testimony.
And as you know, John, senators and others are still calling on Comey to testify. Any update where that's concerned?
Well, we've heard from Comey's associates who say he is willing to testify, that he wants to testify in open session to tell his story. But, Robin, there are at least 3 committees that are seeking him. One of them, the top Democrat on the Judiciary Committee, said that they have sent a letter to his P.O. box and still have not heard a response yet.
All right, John, thank you. Yeah, kind of strange he hasn't responded yet. As the special counsel takes over the Russia investigation, President Trump says he's very close to picking a new FBI director. As we mentioned, one of the frontrunners may be former Senator Vice Presidential candidate Joe Lieberman. Our senior desk correspondent Pierre Thomas has more on where the search stands right now. Good morning, Pierre.
George, good morning. Lieberman was the Connecticut Attorney General before he served 14 years as that state's U.S. Senator. First as a Democrat, then as an independent. He was the vice presidential pick of Al Gore's failed race for the presidency in 2000. But in recent years, he's shown a more conservative bent, endorsing Republican presidential candidate John McCain in 2008. After leaving the Senate, he's recently been working as in a law firm in Connecticut, George.
And Pierre, this really has the feel of a trial balloon. I wonder if he's really going to get the nod. But so far, what kind of reaction is he getting from Capitol Hill?
Well, Republicans like Lindsey Graham and John McCain are praising him, but some Democratic senators are skeptical, saying they don't want anyone who's been a career politician in charge of the nation's premier law enforcement agency. FBI agents I've spoken to are hoping for someone completely nonpartisan. But, George, if Lieberman is selected, he could receive support from within the FBI because he was his state's chief law enforcement officer.
Right, but some inside the administration wonder if he might be a little bit too independent. We'll see what happens with the president's pick. Pierre Thomas, thanks very much.
We will. As we mentioned, the president is just hours away from his first international trip, visiting 5 countries in 8 days. Our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz, has more details. But before we get to that, Martha, the Russians they seem to be having some fun at the expense of the U.S.
Oh, yeah, Robin. The hilarity continues for the Russians, with the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov making fun of the issue of President Trump revealing intelligence in his private meeting with Lavrov and the Russian ambassador. President Trump taking a lot of heat for that, but Lavrov overnight with a European official who asked if their picture together would cause problems. Lavrov laughing and saying, depends on what kind of secrets you pass on to me, Robin.
Ouch. Okay, one of the stops also on this trip is Israel, and Israel is reportedly the source of that intel that the president passed on to the Russians. I'm sure that's going to be on the agenda when he meets with the Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Well, maybe not. You know, Benjamin Netanyahu will put on his best poker face, so I doubt he will be critical of the president. He feels Donald Trump is far superior to Barack Obama, largely because of his strong rhetoric against Iran, even though President Trump has not ripped up the Iran deal. But Israeli intelligence officials are shaken by President Trump sharing their intelligence with the Russians, even though publicly the Israelis have said everything's fine.
On the international scene, a chance for the president perhaps to hit the reset button and leave the domestic problems behind for now?
You know, good point. This is an ambitious trip, especially in Saudi, where they will welcome the president and his plans to bring Muslim countries together to fight extremism. If Donald Trump can just get this trip out of the way without any gaffes, it's likely to be seen as a success. And for now, there aren't any press availabilities, Robin, so maybe that will happen, although there's always Twitter. Robin?
Yes, there is. Martha, thank you.
It has been a dizzying 10 days. Let's get more on the politics now from our chief political analyst, Matthew Dowd, GOP strategist Kristen Soltis-Anderson. And Matt, let me begin with you. Let's start out with this appointment of Robert Mueller. For the White House, on the one hand, it gives them a place to put all of the questions. They can say now the special counsel is dealing with it. On the other hand, we've seen in the past, special counsels, once they get started, hard to know where they're going to stop.
Well, you just have to look at this broadly, George, as any time a special counsel is appointed, a White House can't be happy with it. I think in a very, very short term, it's good news for the White House because it isolates the problem, as you say, and it fixes it on one small bucket. The bigger problem in the long term in this, it's like a tree, and you think the tree is just Russia, and then you start digging. There's a root system that's going to go throughout this, and it can go any direction that Robert Mueller wants to take it.
And one of the things we saw this week, Kristen Soltis-Anderson, is that Republicans didn't know exactly how to handle it. For the first time, they were really silent when big news came from the White House.
That's right. And I think in part of this, it's because you have a lot of Republicans who don't really know how their constituents are really responding to this. A lot of these members going to town halls, hearing a lot of anger from frustrated folks in their districts, not quite sure how closely they want to stay to Donald Trump, especially if this investigation begins to go somewhere really south.
Next big public move could be, Matt, and it depends on what happens if James Comey ever gets back to the Congress, the public testimony of James Comey. We saw the president go out there with a flat denial yesterday, saying he never did anything to ask Comey to pull back from the investigation. How Comey responds to that will be such a dramatic and consequential moment.
Well, as we learned in
13 after, we have breaking news right now. We welcome our viewers on ABC 7 as well. There's an ambulance that's been stolen and in Prince George's County, and the police chase is ongoing. Let's get back out to Suzanne Kennedy. She's on the phone right now. Still trailing this caravan of police cars. What's going on?
It seems like the caravan has somehow gotten off of Route 210 and headed eastbound in the area of Tucker Road. We are in that heading in that direction right now. This all starting to develop around 6:30 this morning. That was when we were in the area covering a fatal hit and run when we noticed an ambulance heading southbound on 210. And then a few minutes later, Prince George's County Police, Maryland State Police, and a helicopter were heading southbound as well. We made some calls to learn that the ambulance had been stolen from Prince George's County Hospital. Authorities pursued it southbound, and then within about 15 to 20 minutes, the ambulance came back northbound on the roadway here. They were being led and trailed by both Prince George's County Police and Maryland State Police. We noticed an African-American male driver. We also noticed that the tires on the ambulance had been either punctured or flattened in some way. The ambulance was traveling no faster than 20 miles an hour as this pursuit was happening in northbound 210. We did see in the roadway just a few blocks further northbound that there were treads from that ambulance left, as well as there was a smell in the air of burning rubber. We followed for a few minutes watching this slow pursuit, which was about a quarter of a mile ahead of where we were, and then got into heavy traffic, and It appears as if the ambulance has peeled off on one of the side roads here, the eastbound roadways off of 210. We are in the process of looking for this activity, and as soon as we find out more information, we will pass it along to you. But again, Prince George's...
Ambulance stolen from Prince George's Hospital is being chased through Prince George's County.
Ambulance stolen from Prince George's Hospital is being chased through Prince George's County.
Same areas are in for more severe weather today. George and Robin?
Rough weekend ahead.
Yes.
We have breaking news now involving Julian Assange. After 7 years, Sweden is dropping an investigation into a sexual assault claim against the WikiLeaks founder. Crowd is growing outside the Ecuadorian embassy in London, where Assange is staying, has been staying now for a long time. Our chief foreign affairs correspondent Terry Moran in London with the story. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. This is a moment of triumph for Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks and a key player in Donald Trump's victory last November, because WikiLeaks published those Democratic National Committee emails that played such a key role. But for nearly 5 years now, Assange has been holed up here in the Ecuadorian embassy in London, a fugitive from a rape prosecution in Sweden. And this morning, that stunning announcement, Sweden's top prosecutor saying the rape investigation is over, halted for lack of progress. But his legal troubles are not over. He could still face arrest here in London on the far less serious charge of jumping bail, and thus could be extradited to the United States on possible espionage charges. His lawyer saying this morning he's seeking asylum in France if he can get out of here. George?
We'll be watching. Tim Moran, thanks very much. Amy here with today's other top stories. U.S. military has a close encounter with China.
That's right. There are new tensions between the U.S. and China. U.S. military officials say an American surveillance plane was on a routine mission over the East China Sea when it was intercepted by 2 Chinese fighter jets, which came within 150 feet. One conducted what's known as a barrel roll over the U.S. plane. The American pilots called the incident unprofessional. The U.S. plane is in the region to monitor North Korea nuclear testing. And a rare move in Syria, U.S. warplanes have attacked a convoy loyal to President Bashar al-Assad. U.S. officials say the convoy entered a restricted area near a base where U.S. forces train rebels. Defense Secretary James Mattis says the attack is not a sign of growing U.S. involvement in the conflict. And health officials near San Francisco have linked several cases of botulism to nacho cheese sold at a gas station. At least 5 cases are confirmed, including a mother of 3 from Sacramento who is now in intensive care. Botulism can cause paralysis or even death. And this is what $110.5 million can buy you these days. Take a look. It's a painting of a skull by artist Jean-Michel Basquiat. That's how much a Japanese billionaire bid for it. It is the highest price ever paid for a painting by an American artist. Get this, it sold for just $19,000 back in 1984. It was virtually unknown until this auction. We looked into the name of it. It's called Untitled, but some might call it overpriced.
Yes, some might.
But you know what? I'm sure he's very happy with his purchase.
What is it? Eye of the Beholder?
Yeah, something like that.
Something
Right.
like that.
110.5.
You got billions, I guess that's a drop in the bucket.
That's true. Thank you, Amy. Let's get to Ginger now. Record heat here in the East, Ginge.
Record numbers like Boston at 95 and Hartford, Connecticut, 96. Albany, New York hit 94. But guess what, everybody? It's over. We're diving off the deep end. Much cooler this weekend. Speaking of, weekend getaways now brought to you by Ashley Home Store.
Don't miss Ashley Home Store's Great American Memorial Day event with red, white, and bold savings. Up to 25% or 60 months no interest. Save on indoor and outdoor room packages. This beautiful outdoor dining set. Reclining sofas. Save on beds. For a limited time, get 96 months no interest on Tempur-Pedic and Serta Eye Comfort, starting at just $25 a month at the #1 Tempur-Pedic retailer in North America. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Daytime highs today still above our average in the D.C. area, again making it to 89 degrees, so certainly mild and very humid. In addition, we're tracking a cold front, which should bring in some additional strong gusty thunderstorms, mainly between the hours of about 2 to 9 o'clock. So make sure you keep an eye to the sky if you're heading out this afternoon. In through the weekend, though, a nice cool down coming up. Those temperatures drop back into the low 70s. It'll be cloudy with isolated showers both days.
As soon as it gets cold, I'm going to the Bahamas to shark dive, so I'm going to take off.
That's true. I saw you had your bags packed. You're ready to go.
Monday morning.
All
Come
right.
with me.
Good luck. Have fun.
I know.